Right, hello and welcome to another Let's Talk. I'm today with Gabby, who's going to talk to us all about herself and her cooking. Hi, Gabby. How you doing?
Hi, Jay. How are you?
I'm not too bad, thanks.
Yeah,
We know each other from the Yes Theory community.
of course.
How is it that you got started with them?
Well, actually, I discovered them when I was living in LA. I'm originally come from Colombia, and I'm currently located still in Colombia, but I was living in LA for a while because college. So I discovered them through a video that they did like a small biography from a guy named Charlie, who was a music business mogul, and now he's an athlete. So I got intrigued about the video. I watched it, and then I watched all their YouTube channel, their YouTube videos back in the day. It was like 2 years ago, 2018. So I just and then I was so excited about this channel, so I shared one of my best friends, and he also got hooked. Then in the beginning of February, I discovered the Jess Fam Facebook group. I did not know that, but I was like, for 2 years, I was watching religiously, like each upcoming video, whatever grabbing like content that from the Jess Theory they post. So then I discovered Jess Fam. I got in. And one of the things that I seek discomfort to present myself as a newbie from the group, I seek discomfort when quarantine started, and I quit my job because I was miserable right there, and I was like, my mental health was overwhelmed, but I want to have a spark of joy. So I was like, okay, I'm going to seek discomfort and share who I am in Jess Fam. So the first video, the first post that I did for Jess Fam for semester was dancing. I was like, yeah, like my first post of Jess Theory was dancing in a sports bra, because I was also like feeling insecure about my body. I was like, you know what? I don't give a fuck. So I was like dancing, like say, hey, I'm Gabriela, I'm from Colombia, and one of the things that I love doing is dancing to boost my mood, and that's how I got into Jess Fam. And after that, I saw that, like it was like visions about Jess Theory Philippines, Jess Theory Belgium, and I saw Jess Theory Latin America, and I joined the Jess Theory Latin America, and I was like introducing myself. Hi, my name is, I'm from Colombia, in Spanish, of course. Then suddenly the group like got activated. One of my friends, who is also one of the administrators of that group, he told me that group was dead until you came in and you introduced yourself. I was like, oh well. And then I got my first video chat with a stranger with Jess Fam Latin America. So like for me, it was like, I'm a very amazing, like perky and outspoken, but actually an introvert person. I value my alone time. Being surrounded with people actually exhausted me. So I have to recharge. So for example, if I go out with someone for a day, I have to recharge for a whole week by myself. I'm that kind of person. So like I met like Jess Fam Latin America on a video chat. We lasted like the whole group like for 2 hours, and it was great because it was like the first 2 or 3 weeks of lockdown here in Colombia. And that's how it started. And then I started like posting some posts. Like one of my friends said, you are like Jess Fam viral. I'm like, what do you mean? Whenever you post something, like so many people come there, and I don't know why, I just express it, especially that I'm a former military brat. Like my dad, he was from the Colombian military, so we move a lot, and I'm only child. So for me, finding I was always like that weird kid. I didn't know where to belong until I met Jess. And it was hard to be for me myself because I'm a very loud, bold person. And here in Colombia, you must be like, especially with women, they should be like more like a ladylike, like a damsel. I'm kind of not like that. I may look physically like that, but I'm not like that. So it was like for me to find like a group where I can belong and make friends. So yeah.
It must be really amazing that you're able to sort of post these statuses, these videos and stuff, and it sort of just livens up the chat that, of course, your friend said was dead at that point.
Yeah. Like it's crazy, man. Like whenever it's crazy, and I met a wonderful people, and I connected with them. So yeah, So that's why I love Adjusted. It's not about the channel and about the founders. That it's more about the community that was built after that. And especially what I love, like everyone has their own lives separately, but when we connected, we have like something like an inside energy and an inside joke, like, oh, you're from this band, like it's like a weird family that we kind of are.
Yeah, it's a very strange but a wonderful community. Have you only done video meetups, or have you ever done it in real life meetup yet?
I have only done video meetups because, first of all, like I live in a small coastal town in Colombia. We are really in lockdown. The majority of the meetups are either in Europe or in big cities in Latin America or United States. So I'm hopefully when it's safe to travel, because COVID here in South America is crazy, and now we have so many political issues and yeah.
No, that's fine. So then, with being stuck in lockdown and COVID being so big there, what is this next venture that you've recently posted about in that community page?
Okay, so last September, I decided to finally chase my dreams because I quit my job. Then I was figured out what I want to do. So I took a bunch of courses. I work in marketing, social media content, especially as a copywriter. Then I got a full-time job in a company, but I got laid off because they couldn't afford having full-time. So I'm doing like freelance hours. So I was like frustrated because, like I was starting to be myself again, have a job, have a career. And I said, what should I do? Like, I don't want to get a full-time job. It was October. So I don't want to get a full-time job right now because holidays are coming, then New Year's too. So I was like, no. So I decided working as a freelancer, but at the same time, I wanted to create something on my own. So I decided to get my personal Instagram into a cooking account, especially for health, because it's something that I truly value. Like, because, for example, like here in Latin America, there are not many accounts that talk about the basics about nutrition and also food that is healthy and actually tastes good. The majority of content creators are either like very like loud influencers, or they're doctors and nutritionists. And I want to have the perspective of just like an everyday person that is me, that I've been through a lot on my fitness journey and I'm still learning. And I wanted to do it on the cooking side because the majority of influencers are more in the exercise and working outside. So I decided to do more on the cooking side, and also like teaching people the basics about food, like what to do, what not to do, be more conscious and aware what they put into the body, because I truly believe that life gives you one body and you should take care of it. Yeah, especially that I love cooking. Like I learned to cook like when I was 11, like my mom taught me. And I was growing up as a picky eater back in the day. And my mom said that, Gabby, you should eat this or just figure out. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to figure out because I don't want to eat that as a picky eater. So that's how I started like my own cooking journey. And also like I cooked, like when I was in high school, I cooked on the weekends and I cook myself breakfast or dinner and trying to because I love improvising and mixing different flavors. I was not into fitness back in the day. I was always growing up as a fat kid. I was never like an athlete. I'm very bad like any sport that involves a ball. And so many people like didn't get that I was growing up that kid. I thought I was always bit athletic or into sports. I'm like, no, I was never like that. So then I started university in the United States and was living by myself. So that's what was figuring out how to cook and how to improve, like cooking more than just pasta or rice. So that's how I figured out like how to turn something delicious with the bare minimum from your fridge, and also on a college budget that is very limited, especially There is nothing more poorer than an international student from Latin America in a college budget. If you think like a normal college budget for a normal kid, no, ask for someone because like in United States, like the dollar is super expensive comparing to the coin here, like Colombia or Peru or Mexico or Venezuela. So that's how I got my imagination. My best friend, he was also a neighbor to me, so he bring his groceries, leftovers, and then I was cooking something. So that was
just let you make whatever you want.
Yeah. So at one point in my life, like I was like binge eating a lot. I was very insecure about myself, and I saw myself in the mirror, and I was like, this is not my body. I don't feel comfortable with my body. So that's when it turned point. I was like, okay, I'm going to get to the gym. And like for me, that's how I started working out. Especially working out for me, I didn't want to get slim or get strong. I just wanted to have the creative habit and the discipline. Like, so I started working out like 3 times a week. Then I turned it to 5, and then I asked my mom. So she gave me the contact information of the nutritionist. So I was doing like an online program, and she gave me like a meal plan, and with the macros and the calories and whatever you have to take, especially when you start like a caloric deficit, you have to try to change the portion sizes. And something about me that I hate canned tuna, and normally when you are in a caloric deficit, canned tuna is a good source of lean protein, and I hate it. Also, like I don't like a plain chicken breast because it's dry. I'm not a huge fan of chicken. So that was something that I had to figure out. And also, like, I love veggies, but the only veggie that I cannot stand is iceberg lettuce. I hate iceberg lettuce with all my life. That's why I went. So I was like, okay, I have to like, this is like the 3 main types of food that people eat to get shredded, to lose fat. And I was like, okay, I have to figure out how to taste something delicious while I'm also in a caloric deficit. So that's how I started doing, like, experimenting with spices. That's how I started doing meal prep, so I made sure that eat something delicious, but at the same time healthy. That's how I fell in love with food, that there is more options out there, but people, especially that nutritionists back in that time, they didn't know that. So especially it was very limited, so I have to experiment of what I have. And it was like super hard at first, but then I got the click, and then I got more passionate about it, and I wanted to learn more. So and after that, I go back to Colombia, and my mom loves cooking, and also like I made my parents to work out more, to be more cautious on their health, especially that my mom's side of the family, they're suffering from obesity, high blood pressure, cholesterol, and other disease. And I saw how my family members suffer, and I don't want to be that. So I was like, okay, I can. And during that time, when I was like learning how to cook, and I developed like an eating disorder called orthorexia. That is basically like an obsession of healthy eating, but so much that I was like, you should not eat that. That is not. So I was like kind of like romanticized about clean food, and then disguising like bad food. And I did not realize that it was an eating disorder, because I was like obsessed, measuring everything, registering everything on my fitness app. I was weighing myself like every single day. I work out like 2 hours, 6 days a week. I only drink water or black coffee. Sometimes I drink matcha, and that's it. Like I was so obsessed because I was a very insecure person. Like I did not love myself. I didn't love my body, especially like growing up in high school. I didn't feel myself attractive. In college, I was the majority of people, my friends in university, especially in a college that there were more guys than girls. So I was one of the boys, and they was talk about girls and this and that, and I was very insecure about it because I was not their type. So I have a lot of things I was kind of obsessed to be like, for me, the only way to resolve myself is being skinny. And then I started taking laxative because I have to be in that specific number, because diet culture is hard, especially in social media, that they promote to be more stronger, more lean. And I was limited myself. And then, like, if I don't get that specific number on my scale, I started having an anxiety attack. I panic, I cry, I binge eat, then I cried again, and then I use lactose. So it was like a very toxic cycle that I had for a while, especially when I'm an emotional eater, and I had binge eating before fitness, so it was a whole mess. So I came back to Colombia. I have to take like therapy to solve all my problems, my anxiety problem, all that. But at the same time, I just so I eliminated my fitness pal app. I did not scale myself for a year, and I just like eat very like intuitively. But I started doing boxing, and I fell in love with boxing because I feel stronger, and I feel like the rhythm, especially like boxing, is like dancing. You just need a rhythm, and I love challenging myself because with boxing you have to be strong, but at the same time you have to be agile. So that's why I love that combination. That's one of my favorite types of training ever.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, and then COVID. So, and then I was like very emotional eating when I was working, because I was in a toxic work environment and I have a lot of anxiety. So I was like eating like a lot, especially even though they were like healthy snacks, but like measurements.
Yeah,
it's like a deal. Like, so I was like eating like crazy. I've always been hungry, especially it was more like emotional hunger to avoid my feelings or preventing me having another anxiety attack. So that's how I use food to
like a comfort
solve all my problems. And then COVID happened, and I was like, okay, I have to learn how to know my body, difference between, because I was like, I don't wanna lose weight. I just wanna heal my mental health. So for me, I was like I meditate a lot. I was doing like I have a gratitude journal, and also I had a back injury because, first of all, bad posture, and also like I was not very conscious about whenever I went lifting about the technique. So I was doing like back rows with 15 pounds. So it was like in a back technique with a bad technique. So it was horrible, excruciating pain on my back.
Yeah.
It was, so I have to, with training back in March, I have to start all over again, like the basics, like doing body weight exercises. Then I started doing yoga because it helped relieve my back pain and better my posture. So it was like I started all over again. And at the same time, since quarantine happened, I started cooking again. And I fell in love with that because my mom also, we started cooking and developing recipes. Also, I got a hobby to make bread because I love bread. So I started making bread like once a week, and then months happened, and my mom said, okay, let's have each family member has to cook something once a week about country around the world. So I started experimenting that, and I shared pictures on my Instagram. So, give me the recipe, Gabby. What do you have? How do you prepare? So they're always asking me whenever I post something on my stories, what is the recipe? And I said, like, you know what? I love cooking, and whenever I post a picture, people ask me about the recipes. I was like, let's do it. Like, I have nothing to lose. And I just realized that not many people know about basic of nutrition, especially like they're like the first chapter of quarantine. Everyone wants to get lean and lose weight, but at the same time, they had like the rebound weight because they did it like they had that this all or nothing mentality, which is not healthy, and I had that. So I was like, okay, so that's how so my mom gave me a birthday present, an apron called Gabbys Kitchen, and a cooking book that's called Gabbys Kitchen. I was like, that's it. I will create Gabbys kitchen. So that's how I seek discomfort, because like for me, I turn my person. I had. So for me, I work in social media, and I was like, okay, I'm not focused on a strategy. I'm not focused on getting likes and followers. I want to create quality content to build a community little by little. Especially that I saw that there are many like great accounts in English, but they're not a great accounts in Spanish, especially in a perspective from an expert, but not from an everyday person. So I discovered a YouTube channel called Hiram, that he is a specialist, that he's a young man passionate about skincare, teaching about the basic skincare routine. I was like, and he doesn't want to be like a dermatologist or esthetician. He just want to teach people the basics and experiment with what skincare work for them. I was like, I want to be that, but in food, with food and health. I want to be the Hiram of food and health in Spanish. So he inspired me that kind of way, that I just want to help people to be more conscious about what to eat, because healthy doesn't have to be like about weight or look shredded or muscly. It's more about living like a quality of life, having quality of sleep, quality emotional health. So that's like my ultimate goal, like because I see many people working out so damn hard, but they eat very poorly, and that's not how it works. I've been there also, and I knew it. So that's how I want to create like very like easy recipes with ingredients that you can find in any grocery store. And also, like, I don't consume protein powder, I don't consume supplements, because like for me, I had a bad experience previously. So I'm like, okay. And also, like, you can get like very steady results just with a great nutrition and great and a quality eating food. So like I always tell people, like, protein powder is great, but it's complementary. It's not the main thing. So that's how I tell people, like, you don't have to, especially like protein powder here is super expensive. So
very interesting, because my nutritionist who sets out my meal plans and stuff, he suggested that with the intensity of the stuff I'm eating and the amount of like natural proteins from either the chickens, the steaks, the mixed vegetables and stuff, I don't actually need protein powder, because then that's just putting unnecessary stuff in my body, and it'll just use it as like excess fat, and that it won't get used.
Exactly, and that's what happened to me. Do you know what? One of the accounts that I have been inspired a lot. He's a British nutritionist. His name is Ryan, but his Instagram name is called Live Vital. I will share it because like he's a nutritionist, and he posts like really great recipes and try to prioritize like eating quality food, and also being surrounded by nature, quality of light and movement. So I will share with you later his account. Like, he's amazing, and I'm being inspired a lot by him too. Yeah, like you don't need like those, like, spend a lot of money on supplements or protein powders, protein bars. It's great when you are like in a rush. Like, for example, you're traveling for hours. Like, it's a really great pick me up, because when you are traveling, you will see a lot of like excess like refined carbohydrates and fat. So having like a pouch of protein, it will be great when you're like in a long road trip, or you're traveling to another country internationally, and you'll be at the airport. That's great. But on your daily life, I don't, like, for me, like, it is useless.
Yeah, definitely. And it's also interesting that diet and nutrition is probably one of the most important things about any sort of fitness and healthy lifestyle. Yeah, it's always sort of forgot about and put in the back compared to all the exercises and stuff. And then, like, when you see all these sort of food and nutritional plans by influencers and stuff, it is always, as you said earlier, the basic chicken, rice, salmon. And people forget that you can still have a healthy, balanced, nutritional diet, but have, seasonings and a few, fatty products, as long as it's sort of proportional to the rest of the plate.
Exactly. Like, for example, like, I always say, like, start buying like dried spices, and also trying to make your own dressings or your own sauces. Like for example, if you have salmon, you can make like a quick pico de gallo that is basically onion, tomato, cilantro, lime, salt and pepper, and you put it on top of that, and it will taste delicious, and it's very nutritious because you get all the macronutrients for the pico de gallo, fresh, and it tastes so yummy. Or also, like for example, you have like a plain rice, especially brown rice. You can add like some green mushrooms and make it like a mushroom brown rice, or also you can. I have an IGTV video that I teach how to make like a green rice, which is basically cilantro and spinach rice, and it's so delicious. So yeah, like trying to make like, and also like, and now people like making cauliflower everything, and I was like, yeah, but no, especially that I like, for me, like when I see like vegan diet, keto diet, all like paleo diet, like all the diets, I'm like, I'm a kind of person that I'm open to. So like for example, I'm starting eating and experimenting with plant-based meals.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
for example, like I'm going to say I'm biased. I hate keto diets. You don't need, like for example, if you have like a medical proven sensibility with carbohydrates, or you're suffering from schizophrenia, great, you can be on keto. But like too much fat, it will be not good for the gut health, especially that you need fiber. So like for me, like when you say, it's healthy, it's keto, I'm like, nah, no. So that is like the only diet that I don't see myself consuming. Like I'm starting eating like good fats, like olive oil, avocado oil, ghee, that kind of fat. But I see like bacon, cheese, cream cheese, that is not, and no veggies. I'm like, usually like veggies should be in all diets. There's the only thing that they have in common. So I'm keto. I'm like, and also like the bulletproof coffee with fat. I'm like, those calories of the bulletproof coffee with fat or butter, or with coconut oil and butter, could be used like a really well done breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, like, so yeah, like I'm experimenting with plant-based because first of all the environment, and also because I want to challenge myself to eat more plants. I'm not sure if I want to become a vegan, but I want to experiment with different types of diets to have like a more like a holistic.
And learn the different like plates and recipes, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, many people say, like, when they start following me, are you vegan? Like, no, I'm not vegan. I'm not planning to be, because I eat eggs and I eat fish and sometimes I eat like a really good steak or a burger. But I started, like, for example, I don't eat pork. I don't eat deli meats. The only deli meat that I eat is turkey breast. So,
Right.
Because like I want to eat more like whole foods and less chemicals. Especially there are a lot of like vegan products that they have a lot of chemicals. So yeah. I just want to like teach people to not overly complicate it with food. Just try to simplify.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so with then the Instagram videos and that, is it only on Instagram that you're posting them on so far?
Yes, just for now. Just for now on Instagram, because the majority of my audience is there. Sometimes I post on my TikTok, but I use my TikTok video and post it on Instagram. Especially that many of the people that follow me, especially Spanish speaking community that is under 20, they don't use Facebook. So I'm like, I just for now I want to focus on Instagram. Maybe in the future I want to create a YouTube channel, but just for now I just want to create quality content in just one platform, because like I say, I cook, I took the pictures, I design the posts. So for me, doing the different platforms, and I work in marketing, so each platform has a different purpose. It'll be overwhelming for me. So just for now, I'm just want to focus on social media because it's just one person team, me. Especially that, like I'm very picky how should look everything, and also because I cannot afford an editor or I cannot afford like a graphic designer. So so this is like a passion project that I'm doing. I'm hopefully maybe in the future I can live from it, but just for now, just posting on Instagram, especially that there are like a lot of cooking blogs right now, and it's kind of like saturated, especially like not the majority of the people are more visual. Not a lot of people actually read, which is kind of like sad because like me, I love reading, and I take a lot of inspiration with different cooking blogs because I watch cooking videos just for entertainment, but I never recreate the recipe video. While I'm reading a recipe, like I feel like more concentrated and also like have more freedom to change it up.
Yeah. See, I've always wanted to be able to somewhat get into reading, but I just find it like I get so easily distracted with how like high functioning my mind works that I can't get into it. So it's good then having the video side of it, or very visual, especially this day and age in this generation. Everything is very sort of visual orientated, so it's nice to have that. But yeah, it would be fun to see sort of blogs develop from your work as well for that other part of the audience that might be following you.
Yeah, like I'm planning, like for now I call it like for now I'm just focusing on the first trimester just on Instagram. Maybe I will expand my brand in another platform, and especially that like from now, like I enjoy like sharing the recipe process through a carousel, like picture 1 do this, picture 2 do that, picture 3 do that, because it's easier for the people to recreate and never get lost, kind of like a visual book.
Yeah, so a very nice easy step-by-step guide almost.
Yeah, like one of my friends, he's a graphic designer, like, hey Gabby, you should use this type of content. I'm like, oh, sounds like it's hard because like I'm a person, whenever I cook, like I'm very like mindful and in the present cooking, that I totally forgot to take the first step or the last step.
Yeah.
Or because it's not the same like cooking that actually creating cooking content. And so like for example, the Gabbys Kitchen like first season will end on December 15 because I will take a road trip for Colombia, and then I will start a new chapter in a new city in January because I will move to a bigger city, so that will be like a nice people like share with me like I'm in a new place, new city, new kitchen, so trying to share on January 2021 my experience in a different kitchen, especially maybe it will be like a much smaller kitchen, so that will be funny to watch.
Yeah, it'd be a nice little challenge for yourself as well to see how like well you managed to cope in that.
Yeah, especially like when you're moving out of town, trying to figure out have a schedule, also a bigger city because I will move to a capital, so
yeah,
the traffic there is crazy. So I will share more like a meal prep process. Like for example, on Sunday nights, I will share how I meal prep the majority of my meals. So yeah, I'm planning like great ideas, and then for the ending season of Gabbys Kitchen, I started to write like a script for the final video before my. Yeah. So it's more like a sentimental thank you. Let's hope on the future.
Oh, that's brilliant. And so speaking of that, then what kind of feedback have you managed to get so far from this first season or series you've done?
Well, I share more like the basics, how to eat salad, breakfast ideas, also like healthy sweets. I'm experimenting on that side, especially that you can. So I'm trying to experiment the foods that I love eating and share with the people. So like, because like for example here in Colombia, I don't know, in my house we have like a hearty lunch, but we like to eat at dinner very light. Well, that's how my parents and we eat. Especially like I don't like eating very heavy at night. So I'm trying to give out ideas and also like teaching how to do dressing and sauces. So I'm trying to do like trying to be the basics, especially like I don't want to try to complicate many things. And also like I'm doing recipe development all the time, so I'm trying to make sure that the recipe is right, spot on. And also like I want to show like more like vegetarian and plant-based options, because like I said before, because of the betterment, and also trying to teach meat eaters to grow their palate.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. Well, I wish you the absolute best of luck. Where could people possibly find you who've listened to this?
Okay, so you can find me at, I don't know how to say in English, like Gabriela Otero Su. That's my actual name because Gabby Kitchen was taken. So yeah, Otero Su, Zul, that my full name and my last name and part of my second last name. Because fun fact, in Colombia, in Latin America, we have two last names actually, because because it's common, like for example, because the woman, when she gets married, she doesn't have to change her last name.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's quite interesting.
So she keeps her last name. So normally we have two last names instead of one.
So that wait, hang on a minute. So then, when you get married,
I will keep my last name.
But if you have two last names, which then last name do you keep?
The first one, my dad's last name.
Ah, right, okay, cool.
Like for example, if I get married with someone last name Williams, here in Colombia, I don't have to change it. I will still, for example, Gabriela Otero of Williams instead of Gabriela Williams.
Oh,
because like that, I think it's a very like European and also Asian thing. Like here in Latin America, normally here we have two last names, but we only share our first. But this is a fun fact.
No, right, okay, that's brilliant. So thank you everyone who has watched Let's Talk and listened to it on Spotify. Thank you very much, Gabby, for coming on the show and talking about your little kitchen. I wish you the absolute best for the future of it, and I hope the next season and this little road trip that you're doing goes fantastic.
Yeah, it's a really great platform if you want to learn Spanish and also how to eat good.
I'd recommend it to anyone, absolutely.